Alright, what is up everyone? My name is Jovani and today I'm going to be giving you 5 tips on how to become successful by the age of 21. So, tip number one would be to put out or drop out. Alright, so what I mean by put out or drop out is basically if you're in high school right now, if you're not trying to get A's or even B's, you should really take the time out, consider getting a GED, and consider enrolling at a community college or a university. That's what I did. So when I was 16, I dropped out. It was my sophomore year. I got my GED within 2 weeks, and then I enrolled at a community college, and that allowed me to get my associate's degree by the age of 18. So that really put me ahead of the game. I was about 2 years ahead of everyone else. You know, dropping out isn't for everyone. You have to be really motivated and determined. But it could also be one of the best things you do if you want to be successful by the age of 21. Tip number two would be to dress for success. Now, as cheesy as it sounds, this actually helps you out quite a bit more than you would think. See, when you're young, people don't really take you that seriously. But when you dress nicely, when you dress businesslike, you'd be amazed at how many people talk to you and look at you differently. When I was 16, I was still wearing baggy pants, baggy shirts, skinny jeans, whatever. And when I got to be about 18, I started wearing like what I'm wearing right now, you know, dress shirt and some pants, like some slacks. And that really opened my doors. Surprisingly, it's crazy, and it's kind of sad that people will judge you on the way you dress, but it's in the business world, it just happens. One day I was at a burger joint. I was waiting for my food. Okay? I was waiting for my food, and 2 people walk up to the counter. It was a guy and a girl. They were wearing like full pajamas. Their hair was a mess, no makeup on. There was still dried drool on their face from sleeping. These people walk up to the counter and they're like, "Can I have 2 resumes, please?" And I'm like, what? Like, honestly, I don't care if you're applying for McDonald's. I don't care if you're applying for Burger King. I don't care if you're applying to be a goddamn CEO. You dress to impress, all right? They didn't have to wear anything special. Just like a t-shirt and some blue jeans, you know? But no, they decided to go in their pajamas, and I'd be surprised if they got a job. Because even a burger joint has its standards. So just dress appropriately, guys and girls. Just dress appropriately. Step number 3 is to set your goals, okay? And what I mean by set your goals is you want to set a short-term goal and a long-term goal. Okay? Your short-term goal should be something that you can reasonably achieve between now and a year. Your long-term goal should be a goal you want to achieve in the next 5 to 10 years. So for me, last year my short-term goal was to basically double my income. I was trying to do it through the place I was working for, and that just didn't work out. They just couldn't afford to give me a raise. They refused to give me a raise. I went above and beyond, and for some reason I just couldn't get a raise. That's fine, okay? If you can't get it there, you'll get it somewhere else. So what I did is I started looking for jobs. I was looking for jobs, and I found one that paid exactly double my income and was pretty much exactly what I was doing already. So I applied for it. Luckily, I got it. So, you know, set your short-term goals and then set your long-term goals. All right? They could be whatever you want, you know. If your short-term goal is to buy a car or buy a motorcycle or, you know, something like that, set it. Keep it in your head, write it down, and go for it. Okay? Keep it in the back of your mind all the time. Okay? And then your long-term goal. Maybe you want to buy a house within the next 5 years. Maybe, you know, you want, I don't know what you want, but just write it down, take note of it, keep it in your head. All right, step number 4 Step number 4 is to take risks. And this one goes along with step number 3. In order to achieve those goals, you're gonna have to take some big risks. You know, for me, it was moving to a different job, or it was even just the thought of applying for a different job. That was a big risk I took. It was a risk, and I went for it, and I got it. So, here's my advice to you. If you're 16, 17, 18, even 19, 20, no risk you take right now is going to ruin your life, okay? I mean, within reason. Don't, like, shoot up heroin or smoke crack. But if you decide to apply for, like, some manager position, or if you want to apply at a job out of state or something, go for it. If it doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world for you. It's a lot easier for an 18-year-old to bounce back than it is for a 30-year-old to bounce back. So just take really big risks, guys. Don't be afraid. The bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. And right now, you could take the biggest risks and potentially get that huge reward. So just go for it. So step number 5 is to don't let your age define you. There will be people that tell you you're too young, you don't have the skills, you don't have what it takes to do this job. And I call bullshit. There's been studies that prove that people who have worked for a job for 20 years are no more effective than someone that has worked there for only 1 year. Experience doesn't mean much these days. Because in our generation, we have the internet, okay? We have this amazing, vast, eternal knowledge at our fingertips. And when our parents were growing up, they only had, you know, libraries and books. If you wanted to learn a skill right now, you could watch YouTube for 10 hours straight and you'd know so much about that skill. It's incredible. So don't let your age define you, guys. One thing people kept telling me was, you're moving too fast. Stop, you're moving too fast. You don't know what you're doing. You're moving way too fast. You need to slow down. And look where I'm at now. If people are negative towards you at a young age, it's because they didn't do what you're doing at their age. It's because when they were young, they weren't doing what you were doing. How many 21-year-olds do you know that own a house and a car and a motorcycle? If that's gonna be you, people are gonna be like, well, shit, what did he do different? I was already 21, now I'm 48, and I still don't have a house, you know? So don't listen to people's negativity. Just do you, okay? If you have your goals and you have the drive to achieve them, you're going to, okay? So, all right, so just to recap, tip 1. Tip 1 is to put out or drop out. Step number 2. Step number 2 is to dress for success. Step number 3. Step number 3 is set your goals. All right, you need to set your goals. Step number 4 is to take big risks. And step number 5 is don't let your age define you. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something from this. And if you do, like, subscribe, comment down below. Ask me anything, guys. Ask me anything you want, and I'm down to answer it for you. All right, so catch you guys later.